Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here. I wanted to do a dating update, just as far as everyone's. If you've been following me, you probably know that I've been out there on the market, um, attempting to find a steady, long-term partner, which has been challenging. And it seems like once you have no one, you have no one. But then once you find someone, you find everyone. So I did kind of narrow it down to just two females that I was talking to, and here's how here is how it's going or it's went. So I'm going to start off with one young lady. I met her first, but then about 2 or 3 days later, I met another young lady. Both of them online, two different platforms. And to be honest with you, I started talking to both because I didn't think that something would work out. I really don't like talking to multiple people at the same time because when you're in your 40s, I'm in my 40s. And when you're at that age, maybe if I was young in my teens, I don't have a job, you don't have anything else going on. That's all you have to do in life is, procreate or attempt to perform the act of procreating, right? But when you're in your 40s, you have other things that you're trying to do. You have your balance and, you have kids, you have your own household that you're trying to take care of, or, just enjoy your peace and quiet. And then you have your job. I don't have time to be juggling multiple women. I just don't. So, but I did get advice from a few people, actually a few females, and they were like, talk to both. Talk to both. Women are out here talking to multiple people. You need to talk to multiple people. And it's probably a good thing that I did that. Um, I'm going to start with the second lady that I met. I met one lady like one day, and then 3 days later, I met the other lady. I didn't think either one of us, we were chatting, and then they wanted to exchange numbers, which was cool. So the second lady, I'm going to start with her first because I found her to be very interesting. She makes more money than I do. And that the black people's issue. Well, I know a lot of black women say, we make more money. I've never ran into a female that made more money than I did until today or until, recently. And so she makes more. And obviously, because I'm starting over in life, she still has her assets from, from early 2000s. So she has like a lot of assets that she has additional income streams coming from. And I'm talking about real estate. So unfortunately, with my situation, I had to sell off real estate. So I'm starting from scratch. So when you're dealing with somebody that makes more money than you, I don't mind taking a young lady out. So let's get that off the table. But where I like to go out to eat at, I like to do fine dining. I'm not going to lie. And so I know a lot of people say don't take females out to fancy restaurants. And that's been one of my downfalls is that I do because I enjoy eating at good restaurants. But I will agree that, you can't step it up every time with these people, especially people that you don't know, because they're just getting free meals. And I've had a few females get free meals off of me. But once again, I fell into the pattern. I took this one female out to a nice fine dining restaurant, spent three with tip and everything. It came up to three something. So then, mind you, I'm taking the other female out too. So I'm dating. So that's why they say dating is a rich man's sport. It is a rich man's sport because you can easily rack up bills just dating. But I'm just going to start with this one young lady. So first date we went out on, I'm not going to say we just spent $320 something on food. And she seems into me. She seems nice, but you get the typical just little hug and bye. I'm not expecting, like, I really don't expect like kisses or anything like that, till a little bit down the road. And then second date, once again, we went on another dining experience, $280 there. And so, once again, and then one thing, she's a nice, polite female. She has a little young kid. When I say young, I mean young. This little baby is still in diapers, I think. So, so we went out and once again did that, got a little hug. And I'm talking about like a quick, hey, just kind of like one of them little buddy, hey, thank you, bye. But the thing was, she would call every day. We had great conversation. That's what kind of confused me. It was like we have great conversation. She calls every day, and we have great conversation. Well, I shouldn't say great, but really good conversation. But I noticed too that she didn't really dabble into like intimate conversations. But I will say I don't think she's that type of girl. She's more of I think I guess more of a classier type of like girl. And to be honest with you, I mean, so that's her thing. So after talking with somebody for 2 months, been talking with both of them for 2 months. So I'm going to do the compare contrast. So 2 months, and it's like, all I'm getting is these little hugs. And then one time I took her out. I was just expecting just to go meet up with her, just to kick it. Like, let's just meet up and kick it. We talk every day. We've known each other for about 2, 3 months now. I'm just coming over there to meet you. She doesn't know where I live. I don't know where she lives. I'm just coming to meet you. I said, I'm going to keep you on your side of town. Just meet me down at like a little strip mall near your house and we can just kick it. She immediately jumps in the car and takes me to, not a fine dining restaurant, but takes me to a spot and spends this one was like 50 something bucks. Now, mind you, I didn't even plan on spending anything but maybe 10 bucks. I thought we was just going to sit down, just go cop a squat in like a little fast casual spot and just order something small off the menu and just sit there and chill and talk. She jumps in the car. We go to a eating restaurant. So she's ordering drinks. She's ordering appetizers. All I had was a water with some lemon in it. That came to $50 something. And once again, you feel obligated to pay. And I paid. Now, mind you, I just had a water, even though I did take one of her wings that came on a plate, and I took a bite of something else that she had, just a little bite. And so it's just kind of like, and so finally, we just had the big conversation last week, not last week, a couple of days ago, about like what we both want in life. Because also the other thing that I noticed that females do is they, it's like they have all these plans to be entertained. But then yet when you just say, hey, look, just come to my house and kick it, because a lot of times I just want company just to kind of hang out. I'm not trying to say come through and, we get in the sheets or anything. But, I get females have to protect themselves. But my thing is, if you've been talking to me for 3 months and you feel comfortable enough to go out and eat off of me, you should feel comfortable just to come kick it with me. So we talked about it. And I said, every time we go out, we're doing these things. And, I don't even get any affection. I get a hug, and that's it. So she was just kind of like, well, basically, I don't feel comfortable with that. And I don't feel comfortable with what. And I'm just kind of thinking, well, okay, if you don't feel comfortable with me, and I get it, you have a little kid, and then also too, everything you want to do, you do things big. She just has a different path in life than I do. Like, she's like, I take, all these trips a year. I take multiple trips, and she's expecting her next significant other to want to travel. She found it shocking that I didn't celebrate my birthday. I just say, hey, look, I'm not into, I just don't do ceremonious things. I really don't. My thing is, if I'm going out hanging out every day, then why should I feel compelled to celebrate? Whether it be Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, if you go out and celebrate people enough, you shouldn't have to feel compelled to on that particular day to do something. And that's not to say that I wouldn't do it, but it's just saying that I'm just not big on doing those things. So I think that turned her off too. So I haven't heard from her in about 2 days. So I'm assuming that she's, respectfully bowed out. But I'm just saying all that to say this is that, I just find it amazing that, you can spend $600+ of my money, and then you think that it's sufficient for me to just get a little hug or just, you not be really affectionate or anything towards me, or even just want to do little light outings and hanging out, and once again, women have these expectations of they want you to be into things they're into. Like, and I've had this experience before in the past where, I've gotten into shows like Hallmark Channel movies because I know that that's what the other person was doing. So me just wanting to spend time, I would watch those shows. And after a while, I came to enjoy them. I came to enjoy these Hallmark movies, even in July, even in October, and even in December. I watched the Real Housewives franchises, some of them, just to kind of be into what they're into. But when it comes to being into what I'm into, Star Wars or some sci-fi stuff, then that's when you get the I'm not into all that. I don't want to do. Then they just walk away. But it's like they always want us to concede to what they like, but they don't want to show interest in what we like. And once again, with this female, it's like, okay, you want somebody that's going to take multiple trips with you out of the year, go all of these places that you want to go to, and everything you do it big, big, big. You're doing all of this big time stuff. And here it is, you got a 2-year-old kid. you're in your 40s, mid 40s with a 2-year old, 3-year old, whatever, 4-year old, 3-year old, or two to 4-year old kid, and this is what you want, but when it comes to looking at things from my perspective, well, what do I want? All I want to do is, hey, see a little bit of cuddling and affection or something, you know. And it's I'm not ready for all that, and I'm not, when this all this pushback. So I'm kind of glad that that person bowed out, but I am disappointed in it because, like I said, she had a great conversation. She had a great head on her shoulders. We had a lot of good interest. The second female that I'm dealing with is she's just a little, I just don't know, hard to read. We don't have great conversation, but we have a lot of similar interests. Our backgrounds, our kind of like, geographically where we grew up is the same. Institutions that we went to for higher education are the same. We have like similar backgrounds. It's just that she doesn't talk about anything. The only thing she talks about is she's just into like her work and IT stuff. That's what she talks about. So it's just kind of confused by that. It's like that's all she talks about. And you try to get her to figure out like what are your other interests, and she really doesn't express anything. Then all the time she's always talking about a work husband here, work husband there, and I'm going to do this and I'm doing that. I'm hanging out with this, but he's gay, and I'm hanging out, and it's just like you doing all this hanging out, and like so. But I will say this with her is that even on the second date, like the first date we went out, she seemed very eager to be into me. She seemed eager, and like you could tell, even though like I said, the conversation and it still doesn't flow, but you could say she's eager. And then the second date, I'm just like trying to give her a little hug, and she's like, "Nah, give me a kiss." And so like she stepped it up even on the second date. Like she's progressed. Like I can see the progression there. Even I will say, just as far as going all the way, she's kind of a bit pulled back. But once again, it's all this. Got to do my work, got to do this, got to do that. So it's just kind of confusing on that end of the spectrum. Just the two different fields. Like again, she's a cool girl, good girl. But once again, the only problem with her, it's just as far as conversation, it's like pulling teeth. It's really like pulling teeth. So when we talk on the phone, we probably talk for maybe 10 minutes. And it's really just setting up when we're going to see each other. And then when we hang out and we have a good time. And then, like I said, once we're leaving, then, it's, she's really affectionate, and she'll even like, when you're walking with her, she'll loop her arm in like, "Hey, look, I'm with you." So she's very much doing that. It's just the conversation just really isn't there. So that's just been my experience. That's where I'm at. So, and once again, I'm kind of thinking like, where am I going? Should I still get out there and get me another backup to backfill this spot? I don't know. But that's where I'm at. So if you have any comments or any questions for me, or even just, suggestions, please drop them down in the comment section. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.